Basil, you're part of the original members of Blue Rodeo, having formed back in the 80s. Bring us back to the early days in the formation of the group. Did you think at the time the group would come as far as you have?
No, absolutely not. It's hard to think that we would have been together for more than 5 years. At the time, I think we were always capable of breaking up every day. We just never thought that it would continue for 30 years.
Basil, is there one memory from the group over the past 30 years? And I know this is going to be hard for you, but is there one that really sticks out for you?
It's hard to pinpoint one, but there's been so many amazing moments. I think that the biggest time in the early days when we first went from being like a little bar band and playing, a few universities to the point where we were on the radio all over the country, and we were starting to step up to the big halls. Now, when we played Massey Hall, I'll never forget it. I thought, wow, I can't believe we're playing Toronto and playing at Massey Hall. This is, when I was in a high school band, we used to go there to play when I was playing bassoon, and it was a big deal then. We get to play bassoon. We'd get one song, and then years later, you're like, wow, we're headlining Massey Hall tonight. That's amazing. And then, from there to, getting the Governor General's Award. I mean, that's something for the family, where you kind of say to your relatives, I'm getting the Governor General's Award. And they go, oh, wow, you really are somebody.
Blue Rodeo released its 15th studio album last year called 1,000 Arms. Were there strong expectations for that album?
I think that we felt we had a good record. I mean, after, when we started rehearsals, we always, we kind of say, okay, we're going to do a new record. So coming into it, you don't know really what to expect, how things are going to work out. But usually after about a week of rehearsing, we're like, hey, we can see something really good taking shape here. And if we didn't have something good, I don't think we would continue to, we wouldn't just plow on and put out something we didn't like.
Right.
But I think that we kind of, we discovered things along the way that we thought well, hey, let's go back to where we started, Let's have Jim and Greg sing call and response more and stuff like that we just, we wouldn't normally have done in the past couple of years. As time goes on, you grow away from things, and then you start to realize that, some of the things that you left behind were actually really signature things about the band. And one of them was the singing. Jim started singing his songs, Greg started singing his songs. They'd help each other out a bit, but on this album, they went back to singing together. And most of the songs are duets. Both singers are singing most of the time, and they're doing a lot of call and response, and it just makes it sound more like a united band.
30 years of music, Basil. Is there one song that really stands out for you?
Oh, gee, there's quite a few that do. Sometimes the songs that really resonate the most aren't the hits. They're, I mean, if I was going to pick a hit, Bad Timing would be one song that really always has stood out for me. And more so than even Try, even though... I could say, Try, we owe our career to that song. I mean, it was the song that took us from nowhere to everybody in the country knowing who we were. So that will always hold a special place for that reason alone. But as you play songs on stage and the songs that, come to mean a lot to you, that changes from year to year. You can never kind of just hold on to one song and go, it's still my favorite after all these years. Usually bands are in love with their new material, right? Because it's so fresh. And I can't say that we're any different. Although if I look back through the time, I look back at, the Lost Together era is a very strong era, I think, for the band. I think the song Lost Together itself is just a killer song. It's one of those universal themes, it's got wide appeal. So that's another one I'd have to say. That and Bad Timing would be kind of two that have really stuck with me over the years.
Basil Donovan from Blue Rodeo joining us. Basil, you and the guys are coming to Alberta for 4 dates starting on January 19th in Edmonton at the Jubilee with Ronnie Hawkins and the Do Good Assassins. This is going to be a fun show.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're really enjoying touring with Ron. Well, I've known Ron for a long time. I've known his bandmates and that. I used to go watch Lowest of the Low when they were first, when they first became the big hit in Toronto. There's a time when, after Blue Rodeo happened, there was 3 or 4 years passed, and then I started to hear about, people would say to me, hey, the new band on the Strip that everybody's going to see, they're called the Lowest of the Low. And that was Ron Hawkins. And and Steve Stanley, of course, too. And I used to go see them all the time, and I thought they were a great band. And Ron he writes great songs. He's got a really good band, and they're great people.